Stop. Before you line your baking tray. Watch this. You might think baking paper is just baking paper, but what if I told you that some brands could ruin your food, waste your money, and even release unwanted chemicals into your oven? Today, we're diving deep into 5 UK baking paper brands to never buy. And 2 safe ones you can trust. This video is not about drama, it's about protecting your kitchen, your health, and your hard-earned money. So grab a cup of tea, and let's get started. Section 1. Why baking paper quality really matters. Most people don't think twice before buying baking paper. It's cheap, it's thin, and it's just there to stop food from sticking, right? Wrong. Low-quality baking paper can tear easily when you lift cookies or pizza, burn at lower temperatures, smoke in the oven, stick to your food, leave strange smells, or residue, contain questionable chemical coatings. Good baking paper should be properly silicone coated, handle high heat, at least 220 to 230 degrees Celsius, stay strong when wet or greasy, peel off food easily, be clearly labeled and certified safe. If it fails in any of these areas, it's not worth your money. Now let's expose the worst offenders. Section 2. 5 UK baking paper brands to never buy. Disclaimer: this is based on common consumer complaints, product quality comparisons, and baking performance issues. 1. Everyday value store brand baking paper, budget supermarket rolls. Many large UK supermarkets sell ultra-budget baking paper under their own value label. Common problems: paper is too thin, tears when you pull it, sticks to cakes and cookies, burns at moderate temperatures, often not clearly marked as silicone coated. These products are made to be cheap, not durable. If your cookies stick and break apart when you try to lift them, the paper is the problem. Avoid ultra-budget rolls that feel like tissue paper. 2. Bacofoil, standard version, not non-stick upgrade. Now this might surprise you. The standard baking paper version, not the premium non-stick one, has received complaints for food sticking, uneven coating, paper browning too fast. Many people assume it's premium because of the name. But the regular version doesn't always perform like the upgraded non-stick product. If you're buying this brand, always check for the non-stick label. 3. Tesco Everyday Value Baking Paper. The cheaper Tesco version, not the premium or greaseproof upgrade, often struggles with weak structure, poor non-stick performance, curling in the oven. Customers report needing to use oil spray on top, which defeats the purpose of non-stick paper. If you're already greasing it, why buy it? For Sainsbury's Basics baking paper, another ultra-budget option. Issues include paper sticking to brownies, tearing under weight, thin coating, inconsistent results. Budget baking paper often lacks proper silicone treatment. That's where the problem begins. 5. Unknown imported discount brands, no clear certification. If the packaging doesn't mention temperature rating, doesn't say silicone coated, has no UK safety markings, looks poorly printed, feels waxy instead of smooth, avoid it immediately. Very cheap imported rolls sometimes smoke quickly, stick aggressively, leave paper residue on food. Your oven can reach 220 degrees Celsius easily. If the paper isn't built for that, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Section 3. The 2 safe baking paper brands you can trust. Now let's talk about the good news. These brands consistently perform better in UK kitchens. 1. Lakeland Baking Parchment. Lakeland is known for quality kitchen tools, and their baking parchment, thick and durable, excellent non-stick performance, handles high heat, doesn't curl easily, reliable for cakes and cookies. It may cost slightly more, but it saves you ruined batches. When you're baking something important, this is a safe bet. 2. If you care Parchment Baking Paper. This brand focuses on eco-friendly and chlorine-free production. Why it's good: unbleached, compostable, strong silicone coating, high heat resistance, minimal sticking issues. If you want both performance and eco-conscious baking, this is a solid option. Section 4. How to spot bad baking paper before buying. Here's how to protect yourself instantly. Check the temperature rating. Look for heat resistant up to 220 degrees Celsius or 230 degrees Celsius. If it doesn't say, skip it. Feel the thickness: thin equals cheap, too thin equals tears easily. Good parchment feels slightly firm and strong. Check for silicone coating. It should clearly say non-stick, silicone coated, double-sided. If it says only greaseproof, that's different from parchment paper. Greaseproof paper is not the same as baking parchment. Avoid ultra-cheap rolls. If it's significantly cheaper than all other brands, there's usually a reason. Section 5. Final advice before your next bake: baking paper might seem small, but it affects food texture, cleanup time, oven safety, chemical exposure. Your baking confidence: spending £1 extra on quality paper can save burnt trays, ruined cakes, wasted ingredients, frustration. Remember, cheap baking paper is expensive in the long run. Baking paper problems don't always show up immediately. Sometimes they appear as burnt edges, bitter smells, paper fused to food, dark smoke in the oven, discolored trays, and many people blame the oven, not the paper. Overheating is a silent problem. Even good quality parchment can fail if you place it too close to the heating element. You use it under a grilled broiler, your oven runs hotter than its display. Most baking papers are rated up to 220 to 230 degrees Celsius. But grilling often exceeds 250 degrees Celsius. That's when paper scorches, curls, or smokes. If you're using brands like Lakeland or If You Care, they are reliable, but they are not fireproof. Always respect temperature limits. Section 2. Greaseproof paper versus parchment paper, big difference. This is where many UK buyers get confused. Greaseproof paper, water resistant, not silicone coated, not ideal for high heat, can stick badly. Parchment baking paper, silicone coated, non-stick, heat resistant, designed for ovens. Some supermarket basics from Tesco and Sainsbury's label products in a confusing way. If it only says greaseproof, don't expect non-stick performance. This one mistake ruins thousands of brownies every year. Section 3. 7 smart ways to test baking paper quality at home before you trust a new roll. Test it. 1. The crumple test. Crumple it in your hand. Good parchment holds shape, feels sturdy. Bad parchment feels flimsy, tears easily. 2. The water drop test. Place a small drop of water. If it beads up, silicone coating is likely present. If it absorbs quickly, that's greaseproof, not parchment. 3. The dry cookie test. Bake 2 cookies, one without oil, one with oil. If both stick, that's poor coating. 4. The heat smell test. During baking, pay attention. Does it smell chemical? Is there smoke? Does it brown too quickly? If yes, switch brands. Section 4. When baking paper is not the best option. Here's something most YouTubers won't tell you. Sometimes baking paper isn't the best choice. For example, high heat pizza better option, pizza stone or steel. Roasting meat at very high temps better option, lightly oiled tray. Artisan bread direct tray or cast iron works better. Using paper in extreme heat situations increases burn risk, even with better brands. Section 5. Cost versus quality. Is expensive always better? Not always. Premium pricing doesn't guarantee performance. For example, some consumers expect high quality from well-known brands like Bacofoil, but performance varies between product lines. Instead of focusing only on brand name, look for silicone coating, heat rating printed clearly, thickness, consumer reviews, FSC certification. Optional bonus: the safest choice is informed buying, not blind loyalty. Section 6. Eco-friendly baking paper. Is it really safer? Many UK shoppers are now choosing unbleached paper, compostable paper, chlorine-free products. Brands like If You Care focus on these features. But remember, eco-friendly does not mean heat-proof. Always check temperature limit, silicone coating, quality. Sustainability is great, but safety comes first. Section 7. Signs it's time to throw that roll away. Don't keep baking paper forever. Throw it out if it smells strange, it's discolored before use, it flakes, it's been stored in moisture, it burns faster than usual, paper absorbs humidity over time. Old rolls equals weaker performance. Final warning before your next bake: your oven is one of the hottest appliances in your home. Putting low-quality paper inside it repeatedly is not worth the risk. The difference between good and bad baking paper may seem small, but the difference in results is huge. This is the part most companies don't want you to hear. You've seen the brands. You've learned how to test baking paper. Now it's time to talk about something bigger: what's really in baking paper? And what happens when it gets hot? Welcome to part 3 of 5 UK baking paper brands to never buy. And 2 safe ones. This is where we go beyond sticking and tearing, and into materials, chemicals, and long-term kitchen safety. Section 1. What is baking paper actually made of? At its core, baking paper, also called parchment paper, is made from wood pulp, processed paper fibers, silicone coating. For non-stick, sometimes bleaching agents. The paper is treated to make it heat-resistant, grease-resistant, non-stick, but not all treatment processes are equal. Section 2. Bleached vs unbleached. Does it matter? In the UK, you'll find two main types: bleached, white, baking paper treated for a clean white look, more processed, often chlorine-treated; unbleached, brown, baking paper, more natural color, less chemical processing, often marketed as eco-friendly. Brands like If You Care focus on unbleached, chlorine-free production. Does that automatically mean white paper is unsafe? Not necessarily. Modern food-safe bleaching methods are regulated. But if you prefer minimal processing, unbleached is a safer feeling option for many households. Section 3. The silicone coating, safe or not? Here's the important part. Good baking paper uses food-grade silicone coating. This coating prevents sticking, resists heat, creates moisture barrier. When properly manufactured, food-grade silicone is considered safe at normal baking temperatures, under 230 degrees Celsius. The problem happens when the coating is uneven, the temperature rating is exceeded, the product quality control is poor. Some ultra-cheap imports don't clearly state coating quality. That's a red flag. Stick to brands with clear labeling and UK compliance standards. Retailers like Lakeland tend to provide better product transparency. Section 4. Is baking paper toxic? This is the big question everyone asks. When used properly, under rated temperature, it should not release harmful fumes, it should not melt, it should not transfer chemicals to food, but if overheated, it can scorch, it can smoke, it can degrade, and when paper burns, it releases smoke, just like any organic material. That's why grilling at 250 degrees C+ with baking paper is not recommended. Temperature control is everything. Section 5. The hidden risk, reusing baking paper. Many people reuse parchment to save money. Is it safe? Sometimes. But be careful. You can reuse if it's not burnt, it's not heavily greasy, it's not brittle, it's not stained dark brown. You should not reuse if it's crispy, it's flaking, it smells burnt, it has absorbed heavy oils. Reusing damaged parchment increases smoke risk. And once silicone coating degrades, sticking becomes worse. Section 6. What UK regulations require in the UK? Baking paper sold legally must comply with food contact material regulations. That means, it must be safe for food. Contact materials must not transfer harmful substances. Proper temperature guidance should be provided. Major supermarkets like Tesco and Sainsbury's must meet these standards. However, budget product lines may meet minimum compliance, but not necessarily offer premium performance. Legal does not always mean high quality. Section 7. The biggest mistake home bakers make: it's not buying the wrong brand. It's using baking paper for everything. Remember, don't use under direct flame, don't let paper hang over tray edges, don't use above rated temperature, don't store near moisture. Smart baking is about matching tools to tasks. Section 8. When you should upgrade to alternatives. Sometimes better options include silicone baking mats, reusable, high heat resistant, more eco-friendly. Long-term oiled baking trays, best for high temp roasting. Baking stones, great for pizza and bread. Parchment is convenient, but not always the best choice. Final thoughts: the truth about safe baking paper. Here's the honest answer. Most UK baking paper is safe when used correctly. The danger comes from extremely cheap unknown brands, overheating, poor storage, reusing, burnt sheets. Your goal is not to panic. Your goal is to bake smart.